Our boy Yuuki falls straight into a fantasy world, but he has absolutely zero clue what is going on. He just wakes up in the middle of nowhere like he was tossed out with the trash. He immediately wanders into danger, but thankfully bumps into this small, intense girl with a serious face. This is Kokoro, and she wastes absolutely no time introducing herself to him. Some goddess named Ameth sent her on a glorified babysitting mission to protect Yuuki. She explains she found him napping in the middle of a hungry wolf pack, which is just fantastic luck. If she hadn't shown up, Yuuki would be nothing more than a pile of wolf chow right now. Trying to ignore the awkwardness, she asks the guy his name. His brain is buffering, but he eventually stutters out that he thinks his name is Yuuki. The goddess mentioned his memory was wiped, which explains the completely vacant look in his eyes. But don't worry, Kokoro is here to guide the clueless chosen one. Even though he is utterly confused, Yuuki decides to just roll with it for now. Mostly because she talks a big game and seems to know how to stay alive. He just nods along, faking it until he makes it. To help out, Kokoro pulls a random snack from her bag. A rice ball. Since his brain is empty, she figures she should at least fill his stomach up. He inhales that food like it is the last meal he will ever see on Earth. But the lunch break is cut short instantly. The wolves are back for round 2. Kokoro draws her weapon without flinching, stepping up to guard her totally useless master. She claims these scary beasts are just a tutorial level to help Yuuki grind XP and maybe unlock some hidden, overpowered potential buried deep inside his skull. She swears he has a bright future and she is ready for anything. Even in his daze, Yuuki realizes he should probably try to help out. So he grabs a sword to join the fight, hoping not to die immediately. But before he can be a hero, a wolf tackles him and drags him away like a ragdoll. Poor guy didn't even see the truck hitting him. His combat debut is a total disaster, forcing Kokoro to save him once again. Somehow, he walks away from that embarrassment without a single scratch on him. He stands up, tries to act cool saying he is fine, and then immediately passes out cold. Now Yuuki is officially more lost than ever. Memory wiped, confused, and basically acting like a 7-year-old trapped in a teenager's body. Just totally innocent and completely oblivious to the brutal reality of life. Meanwhile, over on the mountains, we see an orange-haired girl casually washing her face in a lake. She plans to hit the town, but her peaceful morning is ruined by a loud, annoying scream echoing from somewhere nearby. She investigates and finds a skinny guy crying over his chubby friend, who is face-planted on the ground. The skinny dude points to a distant tray, claiming his brother suddenly caught a fatal illness. Their medicine is over there, and he begs her to run and fetch it. Being way too nice for her own good, she sprints off to help. The moment she leaves, the guys snicker, stealing all her stuff while she is gone. Back with the main duo, they arrive at the bustling, noisy city. It is chaotic, and Yuuki is staring at everything like a tourist, so Kokoro starts explaining the basic rules of this fantasy world. You got humans, beastmen, elves, and all sorts of weird creatures here. Very exotic stuff. She clarifies that she is actually an elf, not a human. This place is Landasol, the capital city where all their crazy adventures will start. Kokoro keeps rambling on excitedly, until she realizes Yuuki has wandered off into the crowd like a lost toddler. She panics, scanning the area until she spots him. Yuuki is completely hypnotized, staring directly at a food stall. The owner sees them and assumes they are brother and sister at first. But then he switches up, saying they make a cute couple. Kokoro gets flustered and corrects him, but Yuuki ignores the drama, focused only on food. With hungry eyes, Yuuki randomly points at 2 dishes just because they sound cool. Time to pay up. Kokoro hands him cash, but the concept of commerce totally escapes him. He tries to eat the coins, so Kokoro has to gently explain that metal discs are for buying things, not for snacking on. Money is important, so he really shouldn't swallow it or lose it. He nods and awkwardly manages to pay correctly the second time. Food secured, they sit on a bench to finally enjoy the meal. It is a nice calm moment until they realize they are totally broke. They have 0 cash left for a place to sleep tonight. It is getting dark and the panic is starting to set in. Kokoro considers pawning off the magic staff her dad gave her, just to get some quick cash, but Yuuki shuts that idea down. That gift is way too important to sell. With no other choice, they camp outside, sleeping on the cold ground under the stars like homeless adventurers. It is rough living, but they keep a positive attitude about being destitute. But just when they relax, those annoying wolves return to the party. These beasts are insanely persistent and refuse to leave them alone. It's like they smell Yuuki's protagonist energy, constantly attacking him as if they know he is hiding some secret power. The next morning, Kokoro wakes up looking completely rattled by the ordeal. She hands Yuuki their empty coin pouch with a serious face, telling him to hold onto it. She decides she needs to get a job immediately to support her broke master. Even though money is tight, she trusts Yuuki completely, believing that leaving him alone is somehow helpful. Seeing that Yuuki is still buffering, she assumes he needs cash, so she promises to meet him later with pockets full of money. Before she splits, Yuuki surprises her with a super awkward hug. It is a silent thank you that hits harder than words, showing he appreciates her even if he is clueless about finance. He can't articulate his feelings, so the hug does the talking and Kokoro totally gets it. Yuuki decides he wants to work too, so they head out together. Going straight to the inn, they meet Carrie, the lady running the show at the inn. There is a massive job board on the wall. Kokoro spots a monster hunting gig she likes, but quickly realizes they are too weak. Carrie sees they are rookies and suggests a boring fetch quest, gathering mushrooms near some ruins. It is the perfect job for level 1 scrubs, so they accept it immediately, thankful for the work. Meanwhile, we cut back to Pecorine, that energetic girl with the wild hair. She is still worried about that sick brother, also hunting for her missing sword. She is totally unaware she just got scammed by those two jerks and is running around aimlessly. She eventually spots the scammer brothers acting sketchy in the distance. As soon as they see her, the thieves bolt into the woods. Pecorine chases them down like a Terminator, but eventually loses sight of them. The brothers stumble into a bad part of the forest. They run straight into a nasty monster, turning the chase into a nightmare. They realize that running from a girl was the least of their problems as this monster stares them down. While that disaster unfolds, Yuuki and Kokoro are peacefully picking mushrooms. Kokoro shows him which ones are not poisonous, and after a quick tutorial, they split up to clear the area faster. Kokoro finds a weird fungus making noises. It literally goes pewdy, so she creatively names it Pewdico. Not long after, Yuuki bumps into a very hungry Pecorine. She looks like she is about to collapse from starvation. Yuuki drags her over to Kokoro, and the three of them cook up a mushroom feast, sharing what little food they have. After stuffing their faces completely, Pecorine drops a name longer than a CVS receipt, so Kokoro just sticks with calling her Pecorine. Turns out she was also out here hunting for some mushroom. The vibe is chill, but naturally that cannot last forever. Suddenly, a squad of giant mushrooms jumps them from behind, which is totally rude. It is a surprise ambush, but they manage to dodge the initial rush. Seeing they are surrounded, Kokoro suggests teaming up. They go on the attack, but Kokoro gets snatched up by a fungus like a damsel in distress. Seeing this, Yuuki finally decides to be useful. Danger unlocks his hidden potential, and he blasts out a shiny light to buff his teammates, completely by accident of course. Kokoro and Pecorine get bathed in the glow, and their power levels instantly spike. Like they just chugged 5 energy drinks. With the steroid boost, they absolutely wreck the mushrooms and claim an easy victory. Afterward, they loot the bodies for ingredients, but the little mushroom mascot tries to take a bite out of Pecorine. She catches him mid-air and tosses him into her mouth like a piece of popcorn. Kokoro watches in horror and then boom. A reaction hits her. The mushroom hits her system, making her instantly drunk. She passes out cold and faceplants right onto Yuuki's back. He carries her away. The next day, Kokoro finds Yuuki swinging his sword around, actually trying to look competent. Kokoro turns yesterday's monsters into breakfast, proving she is a top-tier chef. They eat and wonder if Pecorine is alive. Since she mentioned heading back to town, Kokoro also mentions they are broke again, so sleeping on the dirt might become a permanent lifestyle. A creepy dude overhears them and slides in, suggesting Kokoro could work as a guide for some cash, even offering a house as a shady base. But the restaurant owner kicks the creep out before things get weird. Meanwhile, somewhere else entirely, those two idiot thieves finally wake up today, startled by crows after being knocked out for days. Dazed, they plot how to fence that stolen sword for cash. Pecorine wakes up in a barn, and naturally she is starving. By pure chance, she bumps into Yuuki and Kokoro at a food contest. They also spot the thieves hanging around there. Pecorin locks onto them and chases them immediately. Kokoro and Yuuki follow, but since they are monster magnets, they instantly run into a beast blocking the road. Pecorin uses her insane strength to one-shot the enemy quite effortlessly. She sends the wild boar flying through the air. It lands on a bystander, knocking her out cold. Feeling guilty, they wait for her to wake up, totally unaware she is the villain controlling the monsters. When she wakes up, the woman finds Pecorin staring into her soul. Instead of saying thanks, Carol just stands up and walks off. Super cold. Later, she is mumbling to herself in a tree when the thieves pass. Right underneath her, suddenly a huge dragon swoops down and snatches the brothers, leaving Carol completely confused. She didn't summon it, but she definitely thinks it is funny. Seeing an opportunity, she runs to tell Pecorin where to go. Acting like a helpful guide, Kokoro remembers the guild warning. A dragon that loves hoarding shiny rare items is nearby. Right near the city, Landisol. So they march to the dragon's cave, everyone having their own selfish agenda. The beast is huge and has the sword in its mouth. Carol immediately dips out, vanishing into the shadows to watch the chaos unfold. Facing the beast, Yuuki devises a plan. He will be the bait while Kokoro supports and Pecorin deals the heavy damage. They step up with confidence, but naturally things go sideways almost instantly for them. Yuuki gets snatched up and tossed into the dragon's mouth, where he sits right next to the stolen sword. Pecorin tries to pry him out, but the dragon is way too strong. She gets thrashed around like a toy, getting dizzy from the shaking, almost letting go. But the chubby thief grabs her leg just in time to keep her anchored. Carol watches from below and decides to make things worse, casting a spell to mess with the dragon's erratic movement. She wants Pecorin to fall, but her sabotage backfires in a big way. Inside the mouth, Yuuki throws his cape over the dragon's eyes to blind it, totally confusing the poor beast. Blind and flailing, the dragon gives Pecorin the perfect opening to strike. It crashes down, landing exactly where Carol was trying to hide. The impact breaks the spell, leveling the playing field for everyone involved. The dragon wakes up pissed and charges at Carol, but Pecorin jumps in to save her at the last second. Sword ready, Pecorin finishes the fight, keeping the whole squad safe from being eaten. The thieves are actually grateful for once, thanking Pecorin for saving their sorry lives. Pecorin grabs Carol's hand, genuinely thanking her for the accidental help. She thinks Carol was being a team player, unaware she was actually the villain. Without her, they would have been dragon toast. As the sun sets, Pecorin waves goodbye to the thieves and drags Carol along for dinner, basically holding her hostage with kindness. Even if dinner is just leftover rice balls, it tastes better after a near-death experience. Pecorin suggests starting a gourmet guild and invites Carol. Carol keeps her cool act up, refusing the offer and walking away to handle her own shady business priorities. She admits the food was good, but she has evil schemes to plan. Carol spent the whole day looking for Pecorin's weakness, but realized the girl is just a bottomless pit with a sword. Meanwhile, Kokoro heads to the office to register the guild, but she just grabs the paperwork and leaves for later. Outside, Yuuki is waiting for her return. He spots a starving kid collapsing nearby, looking totally drained of life. It reminds him of meeting Pecorin earlier. Without thinking, he gently places a rice ball next to the kid. He offers the food and walks away like a boss. What he does not realize is, a creepy smiling shadow is watching him from behind the scenes. Kokoro gets the forms and they head back together. On the way, they catch Carol spying on Pecorin, who is eating an entire restaurant's inventory. They invite Carol to join, but she acts too cool. She refuses, but her stomach growls loudly, betraying her tough guy act completely. Sitting at the table, Carol tries to stay distant, but Pecorin keeps being annoyingly nice to her, telling her to order whatever her heart desires. But the owner says they are out of almost everything, except for one secret menu item that nobody ever orders. Pecorin orders the mystery dish without a second thought. When it arrives, Carol notices the horrifying secret. It is full of bugs. It looks fancy, but the main ingredient is definitely creepy crawlies. Kokoro eats it like a champ and offers some to Yuuki. Carol looks like she is about to vomit from fear. Kokoro calmly explains that Yuuki needs his protein right now. Survival rules. You gotta eat to live. While Carol is distracted, Pecorin shoves a bug in her mouth. Carol almost passes out from the shock, but then realizes it actually tastes surprisingly amazing. They finish the meal, bonding over their bug feast. Kokoro pulls out the paperwork and officially invites them to form the guild. Pecorine jumps up and hugs her, totally hyped about the idea. Carol stays cool, thanks them for the food, and leaves without committing to anything. Walking away, Carol starts blaming herself. After all, her job was to kill Pecorine, but instead she is chilling out, eating bugs, and actually enjoying the vibe. Needing a distraction, she grabs a sour tamarind, tastes it, and decides to pick some more. Suddenly, a familiar voice calls out. She turns to find an old contact grilling her, asking if she is getting too cozy while her mission is still incomplete. Annoyed, Carol tries ignoring him, but feels the crushing weight of his silent judgment, burning her back. The next day, Pecorine cheerfully announces the restaurant owner just hired her to work there. He noticed her talent for handling the secret menu and hired her immediately. Perfect timing since Pecorine is broke. Now she can earn cash and taste test everything she actually loves. Meanwhile, Kokoro clutches the guild form, looking depressed. She isn't even excited to show anyone on her first day at work. Pecorine wins everybody over. Her contagious energy fills the place with joy, making every single customer feel right at home. Kokoro watches, sighing as she realizes her dream of forming a guild will take a little longer to happen. 3 girls enter, and Pecorine immediately welcomes them, offering up the restaurant's most famous dish. Outside, Carol paces around, totally lost in thought. Yesterday, her boss cancelled the hit on Pecorine, and now everything feels just a little bit different. Later, Carol hears words that warm her heart and restore confidence. Spirit renewed, she feels like divine forces are finally on her side. Just like that, she decides to walk right through those restaurant doors. Carol hears Pecorine serving breaded shrimp to some innocent kids. Spotting Carol, Kokoro grabs the guild application form and tries to approach her discreetly. But Carol notices and calls her out, scolding her before she can even invite her. Suddenly, Carol remembers why she came here. It was to join the guild. She clears her throat to speak, but she stumbles awkwardly. Before she can explain, a huge, arrogant dude storms into the restaurant, imposing his presence on everyone. The rude jerk bluntly asks if they serve insects here. He shoves customers aside before finishing his sentence, creating a super tense vibe. He throws himself into a chair, demanding to be served immediately. The owner tries restoring order, but gets caught off guard completely. The man casually breaks his arm, shocking everyone watching. Faced with this chaos, Pecorine decides to accept the challenge. Determined to prove her talent, Pecorine uses her special gift to analyze any dish just by tasting it. She instantly understands how to prepare it perfectly. She prepares a flawless meal with irresistible flavor, pouring her heart into the recipe. This guy was sent by a rival to ruin the restaurant, so he plans to hate it regardless of the taste. Meanwhile, Carol sees the chaos, thinks for a second, and decides to take initiative. Before he tries the dish, Carol steps in and asks him to wait. Confidently, she promises to reveal the true taste of gods. She squeezes sour tamarind juice over the dish to finish it. The recipe with a twist. The plate served by Pecorine and completed by Carol shines. A special glow captures everyone's attention inside the restaurant. The man cannot resist, impulsively grabbing chopsticks to give it a try. Tasting the first bite, he feels an absolute explosion of flavor, unlike anything experienced before. He doubts the dish was even made with bugs. Each bite delivers delightful harmony, like hearing a symphony inside his own head. The people expecting chaos and ruin just stand there watching, totally confused by this. Filled with hunger, the man's spirit lifts to the skies. He surrenders, declaring the dish sensational for all to hear, but tries to maintain his tough guy pose. He smashes the plate on the floor, threatening to shut the restaurant down no matter what. Yuuki. Seeing this, Yuuki refuses to accept it. He grabs the man's arm, making it clear he can try whatever he wants. But wasting food is banned. At the end of the day, Carol gathers courage to speak. She is officially joining the guild. With 4 members, the team is complete and ready for adventure. Their goal is simple but ambitious: to explore the world, discover every ingredient, and just enjoy every single meal together. Excited, they head to their new guild base, but disappointment strikes when they open the door. Outside, it looks like a dream mansion, but inside is a total dusty, spooky disaster. They immediately start complaining to Carol, who awkwardly explains there were not many choices, and this was literally the only house left available for them. She assures them it is safe, despite rumors about ghosts. A ghost occasionally resting here. Kokoro ignores the weird vibe, saying it is just wonderful to have a roof to sleep under. She asks to clean the place, and Carol approves immediately. The group cleans up, scrubbing and throwing junk away until the place finally shines, coming back to life. During cleanup, Yuuki remembers the most important detail, a table for meals. Since the guild is about eating together, the table has to be something special. Determined, Yuuki decides to build the table himself. He heads into the village to search for wood. Meanwhile, Kokoro goes to buy supplies, trying to stretch the cash left over from that dragon quest. At the market, Kokoro meets Shinobu, who gifts her a welcome plate to celebrate the new guild. She discovers that Shinobu actually leads another guild. Saran, Shinobu's boss, promises to watch the store while her employee Suzume steps out. Saran asks Suzume to help carry groceries. On the way, their chat is cheerful and full of laughs. Walking back home, Suzume chats and reveals that her boss, Saran, was once the vice captain of the Royal Knights. Despite the position, she quit to care for orphans and lost kids, founding the Sarendia charity house all by herself. This surprises Kokoro, helping her realize people can truly change lives through their choices. After walking a while, they reach a remote area, beautiful and isolated, like a forgotten paradise on the far side of the world. But the vibe shifts. Suddenly, they are in a dark forest, surrounded by nothing but glowing red eyes. Fear consumes them both. Kokoro tries calming Suzume, but accidentally says the wrong thing, scaring the poor girl even more. Without thinking, Suzume pulls the cart to escape as fast as possible. In the chaos, Suzume trips on a rock, face-planting hard. The donkey bolts, and silence is broken by a strange noise from the bushes. Kokoro reacts fast, lassoing a rope toward the sound and managing to catch something in the dark. But surprisingly, she did not catch a monster. It is a totally different donkey that speaks and is full of charm. Surprised, the donkey is a lady who absolutely loves receiving compliments. Her name is Lima. She works on a farm called Elizabeth Park, located across the forest. Kokoro explains they were pulling a wagon when their donkey ran off, causing this mess. Without hesitation, Lima offers to help. Despite her humble style, she is truly strong and doesn't mind the weight, since she deals with way tougher tasks on the farm daily. Kokoro feels guilty, thinking Lima might get exhausted carrying all that stuff. But she quickly realizes that for this helper, it is no big deal. Back at the guild house, Yuuki and Carol continue cleaning. Carol sets up a chair so Yuuki can clean the window. Out of nowhere, a bug crawls up her skirt, terrifying her. Carol lets go, and the chair Yuuki stands on loses support. He falls straight to the floor, hitting his head hard. After the fall, Yuuki feels dizzy, like he is dreaming. In that state, he sees a mysterious girl. It is Ameth, the goddess from before. She speaks briefly, dropping hints about what is happening because she knows. Yuuki is not ready for the truth yet. Ameth keeps it brief, conjuring a magic shield to send him back to reality, but before she fades away, she drops a crucial message. When Yuuki's bond with the girl strengthens, she will return to help him again, just like before. But for now, Yuuki needs to chill and be patient. Yuuki wakes up to see Carol staring at him with pure worry. She sighs in relief, realizing he is not dead or brain dead. He recalls the dream message about Carol's tough situation and tries to act cool, making a small gesture to show he is totally fine. Even though he is still a bit loopy, Yuuki feels like he will bounce back soon, ready to tackle whatever guild nonsense comes next. Later on, the handmade table is finally complete. Carol admits the little girl has skills, not just in the kitchen but generally speaking. However, it wasn't easy. The table was huge, so they struggled for ages just trying to shove it through the door. Meanwhile, Kokoro runs into a gang of bandits. They spot Lima and immediately target her, ignoring everyone else. They plan to capture and sell her to a circus, completely sidelining the other two girls. But they keep calling her a donkey, which is ironic because the only thing donkey-like about her is her stubborn attitude. Lima gets annoyed, draws her sword, and ends the fight instantly. Job done, she immediately gets hungry again. She grabs a special apple, takes a bite, and something wild happens that leaves both girls absolutely stunned. The furry creature transforms into a stunningly beautiful human girl. So at the end of a long, weird day, everyone wraps up their chores. Kokoro returns to a clean house and smiles, satisfied with her life choices. Meanwhile, Suzume drags Lima back to her owner, ending the chaotic day. The next morning, Yuuki catches a cold. Carol blames it on him sleeping with wet hair like an idiot. Pecorine brings him porridge. She heard hot food cures the flu or something like that. But one spoonful nearly kills him instantly. Pecorine cheers him on, and he forces down another bite of death. Carol hates this, saying they are spoiling him rotten. She insists he just needs sleep to recover. Seeing he is actually sick, Carol checks his fever. She touches his forehead and recoils in shock because he is burning up like the sun. Kokoro starts brewing a natural remedy she learned back in her village. It includes bugs, obviously. Pecorine is about to dump insects into the porridge. Carol freaks out, yelling that bugs are not the solution to every single problem in life. Since they are clueless, the only option is dragging Yuuki to a hospital before they accidentally murder him with home remedies. Problem is, Carol has zero clue where a hospital is. Holding a giant map, they decide to invade the first building they see. They end up in a sketchy place, greeted by a girl with a witchy vibe. She is dressed as a doctor-nurse hybrid, which is weird, but she seems serious about her job. Pecorine reminds Carol not to judge a book by its creepy cover. The doctor asks Yuuki to strip for a checkup. She lifts his arms, sees something weird, and immediately books him for surgery. Everyone goes silent, wondering what this eccentric doctor is planning. To make him recover 3 times faster, Yuuki gets strapped to a surgery table tied down hand and foot, outside the room. Kokoro is panicking so hard she starts wrecking the waiting room. Carol scolds her for always freaking out whenever bad things happen to Yuuki. She tells Kokoro to chill since they are in a clinic. Surely everything will be fine. Suddenly, a high-pitched scream echoes from the room, and all 3 girls turn pale. Kokoro loses it again. If Pecorine didn't hold her back, she would have torched the hospital right then and there. Then a skinny dude runs past. He trips over them and complains, acting like they are blocking the only hallway in existence. It is the same troublemaker from before. He points at Pecorine, ranting that he wouldn't even be sick if it wasn't for her. Suddenly, a saw buzzes from the room and the man panics. He realizes if he doesn't escape now, he is never leaving this place alive. This place feels more like a prison than a hospital to him. So he bolts while the coast is clear. The girls are totally confused and start thinking maybe they should take Yuuki somewhere else. Then they hear a noise from the back alley where the guy disappeared. A girl appears holding an axe, dragging the unconscious man behind her. All 3 girls are shook. Staring at the surgery sign, Carol asks the nurse about Yuuki's condition. The nurse says nothing, just mentioning his family will take him home today. Kokoro immediately faints. Nobody expected a hospital visit to end like this. Ever since forming the guild, only weird stuff happens. Now little Kokoro is out cold on the floor. The others are lost, so Pecorine suggests eating so they don't collapse too, because food fixes everything. The girl with the axe is Eriko. Earlier she wandered into a fortune-telling tent. The fortune teller offered a free reading because her father wanted to read the fortune of someone special. A skull on the table started talking, inviting Eriko for tea. She was insulted and slashed it with her sword. She has zero tolerance for jokes and decided to teach it a lesson. The skull quickly got scared and started telling her fortune properly. Heading home, Eriko was excited, though confused why weirdos keep hitting on her. She always shuts them down instantly. She started doubting true love, but then she passed the surgery room. The sound of gasping made her stop. Yuuki looked like a dying fish, gasping in the dark. He opened his eyes to see Eriko staring intensely at him. The shock nearly stopped his heart. Next day, the girls are up early, wondering if Yuuki survived the night. That hospital is insane, and Carol is getting anxious about it. After breakfast, they check on Yuuki, but Yuuki isn't hungry this morning. He is just panicked because Eriko is standing there with intense red eyes, holding a plate of rice. Pecorine and the squad arrive at the hospital entrance. A crowd is gathered outside, screaming that the hospital robbed them. The nurse, Nanaka, tells them to get lost, saying she doesn't talk to trash from the other side of town. This only enrages the mob. They demand to see the thief, Eriko. One guy mentions Eriko, and suddenly an axe gleams in the light. Eriko comments on the noise and glares down from the second floor, freezing everyone in fear. She comes down to face the entire crowd alone. asking if they want trouble, because if they do, they will pay. Eriko charges in without mercy, showing them exactly who they messed with. Nanaka joins the fight, turning the hospital into a battleground. They are terrifying together, and then the doctor joins in. She releases poisonous flower petals, knocking people out cold. They are the Twilight Caravan, a guild feared worldwide. She warns the mob to seek treatment before it is too late to save them. The trio is in shock. They brought Yuuki here for help, but now realize they need to rescue him from this madhouse immediately. While the doctor is distracted, they sneak into the room and run straight into Eriko. Yuuki is tied to a chair like a Thanksgiving turkey ready for the oven. Eriko is about to force a weird ring onto his finger, so the girls outside start plotting a rescue. Carol takes lead on strategy, deciding to use Kokoro's bug skills to save the day. Suddenly, purple smoke fills the hospital. Eriko leaves to check it out, giving them a chance to break in and grab Yuuki. Pecorin and Carol are about to escape, but they realize they are trapped. Dangerous people block every exit. If caught, it is game over. Carol decides to act, faking a stomach ache to create a distraction, buying just enough time for Pecorin to throw Yuuki out the second-floor window, the only way out. Carol and Pecorin drag Yuuki to a normal clinic, where the doctor says he will be fine in a few days. The doctor looks at Yuuki's rash and shrugs, saying it is just a cold that everyone overreacts to. He admits the previous treatment was surprisingly solid, meaning the creepy doctor actually knew what she was doing. This makes the girls question where they actually went. They describe the sketchy clinic, and the doctor admits those weirdos are legit. Even if they seem insane, their medical skills are top tier, which finally lets the girls relax about the whole ordeal. The next day, Carol is finally not acting miserable. At breakfast, Pecorin whips out a flyer she found. It invites them to Targum village to harvest some special seasoning ingredients. The pay is daily, plus they get famous Targum seeds. Since the seeds are valuable, Pecorin signs the whole group up, and Carol barely even fights it. Soon enough, they hit the road. The trip is smooth and honestly beautiful, feeling like a vacation. Carol tries foraging all day, but only finds one sad seashell. Meanwhile, Kokoro gathers bugs to eat as the sun sets. Carol only caught 2 tiny fish. Kokoro cheers her up, suggesting they make soup. Using the frogs her master caught. It is better to eat frogs than starve. Pecorin returns with massive birds she hunted, enough to feed the entire army. Her restaurant experience really pays off in moments like this. Nobody can believe how good it tastes. Then she brings out some wild fruits. Kokoro is about to test one, but sees a frog eating it and immediately convulsing on the ground. Carol, clearly intoxicated, randomly hugs Kokoro, letting her guard down for once in her life. Eventually, everyone passes out cold, except for Kokoro. She sips tea, watching her friends snooze by the fire. She silently gives thanks for this moment. The next morning, everyone gets cleaned up. Yuuki is a trouble magnet, but Kokoro still lets him wash his face alone. Naturally, he ends up stuck inside a monster's mouth immediately. The beast runs off. Luckily, a random arrow flies in and strikes the monster, saving Yuuki but launching him into a tree trunk. He passes out cold, totally oblivious to the world. He wakes up staring at a piece of wood with a face. Confused, he picks it up and shakes it. Suddenly, a small girl jumps from behind a tree. She looks painfully shy, barely able to make eye contact. Yuuki hands the wood back, thanking her for the save. The girl bows slightly and introduces herself as Aoi. She quickly adds that she isn't weird. She just likes talking to puppets, which is totally normal. That puppet is number 1, her practice buddy since she has 0 human friends, despite talking to plants. She has always dreamed of having real friends, but years went by and she is still talking to wood. She only talks to number 1, so her social skills are basically non-existent. She blames herself, saying she needs to improve before making any actual friends. Yuuki tries to speak, but Aoi assumes he is a lonely loser just like her. She decides they should bond over their lack of friends, forming an awkward little group. Aoi asks the puppet for a cool team name, then answers her own question. Yuuki stands there, totally unsure what to do. He considers running away, but decides to wait until his actual friends show up. When they arrive, Aoi gets embarrassed and greets them awkwardly, so they continue the journey, with Aoi trailing behind. Carol invites her to join the group, but Aoi is too shy and stays back. Pecorin says it is lucky they met Aoi right as they arrive in Targum village. A beautiful girl appears, welcoming everyone to the village. She asks for their group name. Kokoro freezes, but Pecorin saves the day, declaring their guild name is officially the Gourmet Guild. The girl introduces herself as Misato. She is from the Forestier Guild, alongside some others like Hatsune, who is probably asleep in a ditch somewhere right now. Misato mentions the Elizabeth Park Guild will be arriving soon to help out. They just have to wait. Kokoro remembers that is Lima's guild, the girl who helped her. Meanwhile, Lima and her team are currently on their way. They have 4 members. While resting, they notice something super bizarre. Dark shadows that look exactly like them. Even their powers are identical, like creepy mirror images. The Gourmet Guild circles the village and finds a girl. Floating in the air, sound asleep, she crashes into a pillar and hits the ground. Still sleeping. Pecorin wakes her up, asking if she is okay. This is Hatsune from the Forestier Guild, the one Misato mentioned earlier. In the forest, Lima's team defeats her fake copy, but just when they think it is easy. A strange energy appears and absolutely destroys them. The attacker is Christina, who is Carol's associate. Hatsune talks about her younger sister who loves books. Her name is Shiori. Despite poor health, she stays up all night reading. Hatsune bought new books and just wants to see her sister. Nobody knows that at this exact moment, Shiori is facing a massive problem on the other side of the forest. Sometime later, the Gourmet Guild wakes up early to pick fruit in the fields. Kokoro checks the soil, noticing how well it has been maintained. The drainage is excellent, everything is perfect. The spice smell is so good it makes everyone hungry instantly. Hatsune shows up, finally not passed out in the street anymore. Turns out, using her powers drains her energy completely, making her fall asleep literally anywhere instantly. She decided to stop using magic, which surprises everyone in the group. It is the first time they met someone with such drawbacks, a power so strong it induces narcolepsy. Misato reassures her, saying it is fine and she can trust them since they seem like decent people. Suddenly, commotion from the villagers grabs everyone's attention. They run over and see the Elizabeth Park group being carried in on stretchers. Maharu, barely conscious, says they faced a group of imposters in the forest. Not only that, they were attacked by a strange, cruel woman. They got separated from Shiori during the attack, despite trying their best to help. Surviving that encounter was a total nightmare. Kokoro runs to help an injured Lima. Meanwhile, villagers start whispering, and the dark rumors are officially confirmed. Many people saw perfect copies of themselves in the forest, attacking them on sight. On top of that, the innkeeper went missing days ago. Hatsune uses her power to search Lima's memories and immediately realizes something. The situation is really bad. Desperate, she wants to run off and save her sister. Misato holds her back, insisting they rescue Shiori together. Yuuki agrees immediately, saying he is in. Aoi decides to join too, completing the squad. Everyone is determined not to leave anyone behind. Honestly, this isn't even the Gourmet Guild's mission. They didn't have to get involved. But they are the type who can't ignore a crisis. But they can't imagine that deep in the forest, a powerful trap is waiting for someone to trigger it. Pecorin realizes Carol is missing from the group and has been gone for a while. Meanwhile, our villain manipulates a local's mind and casually absorbs his soul, proving she is definitely going to be a huge problem. It is clear she is going to be a serious issue. Lima recovers thanks to Kokoro's care and returns to where the attack happened. Aoi notices the atmosphere feels strange and repressed, like the location itself is terrified. Hatsune uses magic to fly overhead, but suddenly feels energy targeting her. It is locking on. Luckily, it isn't her. Time to die yet. Hatsune escapes, but the energy drains her strength. She gets dazed just as she recognizes a familiar face. Shiori appears to confront Hatsune, but something is off. Shiori changes colors from gray to red, then decides to attack her own sister. Hatsune gathers strength to defend herself, but Dark Shiori is even more powerful than before. The impact shakes the forest, destroying a huge chunk of it. When the others arrive, they find Hatsune kneeling on the ground, crying. They tell her not to give up since they need answers. While this happens, Carol stands isolated at the hill's peak. Carol feared the village was doomed. Pecorin already noticed Carol acting weird earlier, which made her suspicious. Carol dodged the question, claiming she was just imagining things. She said not everyone wakes up happy like Pecorin. Suddenly, a scream cut through the air, followed by disturbing noises. Pecorin bolted immediately. The village was swarmed by demons. Shadows chased screaming villagers. Pecorin arrived just in time to save a girl. An arrow whizzed past them. Right past their heads, it was Shiori. Yuuki and Lima chased after her, realizing the path led straight to the village. Before they could help, Christina showed up. Lima warned everyone to stay sharp, identifying her as the attacker from the guild incident. Christina spotted their weak points instantly and attacked. Yuuki tried to defend but failed miserable. Kokoro shielded him just in time, but the pressure knocked Yuuki out cold. In a dream, Yuuki met Ameth, the goddess. He panicked for the first time ever, begging to return to reality immediately. His squad was fighting for their lives, and he needed to get back to help them. Ameth was surprised by how quickly he reunited with Christina, even though he clearly didn't remember her. She couldn't interfere directly, only Yuuki could save Kokoro's group now. She told him to unleash the Princess Knight power he used before his memory wipe. She urged him to remember and save his friends. Back in the battle, even tough-hearted Lima was down. Yuuki woke up miraculously and immediately buffed everyone with his power. The group felt re-energized, reborn with newfound strength. First, Lima turned human and counterattacked bravely. They almost turned the tide. Almost. Yuuki tried to finish it, but Christina shut him down. She blocked his sword effortlessly and kicked him away. Satisfied with her day's work, she left, leaving Shiori consumed by darkness. If she is still in there, maybe they can save her. Pecorin fought the dark power but was clearly overwhelmed. Carol wanted to watch from the sidelines, but eventually she couldn't resist joining the fight too. Amid the chaos, Hatsune appeared, diving into Shiori's mind to rescue her. They fought together to escape the mental realm, purging the darkness for good. Everyone united to clear the threats, restoring peace to the village without a single casualty. Back in Landasol, the Gourmet Guild completed missions and earned respect from Karin of the Guild Management Association. They spent days in the vast rice fields. Everyone was excited because the rice here was legendary. But lately, wild animals were ruining the farmers' lives. Birds and boars were causing chaos, and the farmers were helpless. The mission: exterminate the pests. The reward: the best rice in existence. Carol had to report the Targum village incident to the Demon Queen. She was shaking with nerves. The Queen gave her a new task: spy on Yuuki and report everything. That's where her memories ended. Carol sipped water, staring at the guild, wondering why she had to spy on these weirdos. To her, it made zero sense. While picking a mission, Yuuki spotted a paper pinned at the bottom. Looking for a master, Karin dismissed it, saying it wasn't a real mission. Carol thought it was a waste of time and walked off. She didn't take any requests, but Yuuki held onto that paper deep in thought. Outside, they found crying kids making noise. Carol said someone else could deal with that. But the kids blocked her path, refusing to stop crying. They all ended up in a diner, realizing these kids posted the master request. They wanted a master to teach them how to be real adventurers. Carol asked why they wanted to be adventurers. The answer was obvious: to help people and improve lives. This made the adults uncomfortable, since the kids showed more passion than they did. Yuuki agreed to be their master right then and there. Later, Carol lay in a hammock, realizing this simple mission was actually a lot of work. She claimed she wasn't cut out for teaching, lacking patience for kids. If they weren't well behaved, she would have snapped already. Meanwhile, Pecorin prepared crafts for Yuuki to give the kids. She didn't say anything, but Yuuki's craft looked weird. Next day, Pecorin's first lesson was a treasure hunt. X marked the spot. Just find the treasures and bring them back, simple. Yuuki was in charge, and Carol sighed, feeling anxious for no reason. Unexplained anxiety. The girls watched from the trees. Yuuki and the kids started task 1. The compass pointed north, but Yuuki just picked a random direction and led the kids that way. Result: total disaster. They got surrounded by spiders and struggled to escape. The girls tried to warn Yuuki. He seemed to notice, but instead of correcting course, he turned the map completely upside down. The carefully planned path was ruined. Pecorin tried to use her special outfit to help. She tried warning the kids they were going nowhere. But the kids teamed up and defeated her instantly. The trail got dangerous. They ended up in bad spots, facing monster after monster. Yuuki lost count of how many traps he triggered. Carol and Kokoro worked overtime to save him. Afterward, they collapsed, exhausted. Carol couldn't understand why. Everything always falls on her. And the other girls. Yuuki only causes trouble. He ended up inside a monster bird's mouth. The girls had to defeat the creature to save him. They realized this bird was the pest ruining the crops. It made sense now. Not even an army of farmers could stop this thing. It was too strong. After a day of fighting, everyone was drained. Zero energy left, but Pecorin found food, solving everything. The kids woke up thinking they defeated the bird. Pecorin smiled and let them believe it. She explained the mission was a request from farmers. The reward was rice, the best rice. Pecorin cooked a delicious meal with it. As always, it was amazing. The kids played with baby ostriches in the field. Baby ostriches imprint on the first thing they see. So the kids were now ostrich parents. Landasol lets you shop and get lottery tickets. Kokoro found a shoe she thought Yuuki would like. She spun the wheel 3 times, getting nothing but dud prizes until the final spin changed everything. Later, Carol mentioned Kokoro won the grand prize. A beach trip, they packed their bags ready for vacation. Yuuki was half asleep when Kokoro entered, explaining she grew up isolated and knew nothing about swimsuits. She wasn't sure if hers was nice, so she asked for his opinion. The clerk liked it, but if Yuuki didn't, she wouldn't wear it. Yuuki approved and Kokoro sighed in relief. She even got a book. About swimming, they practiced swimming on the floor all night. The next day was perfect for the beach. Carol stayed shyly to the side, shocked she was enjoying a beach day instead of just spying. It wasn't part of the plan. Pecorin and Yuuki splashed in the water. Yuuki got a face full of salt water, having no idea what he was doing. He realized too late it was salty. Kokoro explained he needed to keep his eyes shut to avoid the sting. He got the joke and started splashing them back. Pecorin got hyped and splashed both Kokoro and Yuuki, accidentally sending them drifting out to sea. Naturally, they couldn't leave Carol out. Pecorin approached her, asking if she could swim. Carol admitted she couldn't, so Pecorin had a brilliant idea. She shoved Carol onto a float, pretending she was a boat. Carol was terrified, and afterward Pecorin was totally drained. Kokoro was surprised to see her exhausted, so Pecorin spilled a secret. Her armor boosts her strength, heals her, and blocks pain and cold. It does basically everything. But the catch is it makes her insanely hungry, to the point of passing out. Without it, she is just a normal girl. Kokoro realized her strength, and bottomless appetite finally made sense. Carol asked if she could tell people, and Pecorin laughed, saying it was fine. Suddenly, they bumped into Suzume again. She lost control of her cart because her donkey bolted down the beach. Kokoro's group helped out and learned Saran was opening a new store nearby. They rushed over to say hi and grab some grub. Saran was thrilled to see the Gourmet Guild, confirming the rumors that they love food more than anything. But something was weird despite the heat. The restaurant was empty despite serving amazing food. Saran explained a rival stall stole all her customers with a killer main dish. Not much she could do about it. Business is business. Pecorin offered to eat there daily to fix the problem, which was sweet but useless. Then everyone wondered, what exactly was the rival's secret? The other stall was huge. Service was lively and the line never ended. It looked unbeatable, but their technique was the real MVP. Their barbecue was genuinely incredible. Then the boss showed up. She introduced herself as Akino, leader of the Mercurius Foundation, explaining beach economics. Ice cream is out. After swimming in cold water, people crave hot food and sweets for energy. Akino challenged Saran, but Saran refused to work for anyone else. Mifuyu couldn't handle the tension and spoke up. Akino actually wanted Saran's talent, but was terrible at asking. She also dissed the inexperienced staff, making things awkward. This enraged Carol, making her determined to prove the Gourmet Guild's worth. Saran explained Akino wasn't actually evil. She was rich but chose to build her own path, founding Mercurius Foundation herself. Saran appreciated the help but felt bad for ruining their vacation. The group's goal was exploring food anyway, so they told her not to worry about it. Meanwhile, 2 Mercurius employees took a break. One ate takoyaki, the other chugged wine. She was helping Akino open the new store, but seeing couples everywhere drove the single blonde girl crazy. She was so drunk she had no clue what was happening. Her friend tossed her into the ocean to sober her up. Her feet stuck out, making her friend wonder if it was shallow. Then the water surged, and a monster roared across the beach. Panic ensued. People screamed about a monster, alerting Pecorin's fishing group. Pecorin rushed to help immediately. She fearlessly pulled her friend from danger with sheer strength. But brute force wasn't enough this time. They teamed up to subdue the giant creature together. Finally, they could relax. The rivals called a truce since Saren got her customers back. A win-win situation. They realized competing and cooperating works best. They considered growing together. After making up, Carol invited everyone for a swim. She cast a spell letting them walk underwater and enjoy the view. Kokoro delivered seafood to the restaurant owner alone since Pecorin was shopping. She wanted it fresh, but opening the door revealed a bizarre scene. Customers begged for food while the chef huddled in a corner, muttering about pudding. Kokoro tried to tell him to rest, but he started making more pudding like a zombie. Yuuki saw something weird above him. Nobody else saw anything. Then Shinobu, a fortune teller, appeared mysteriously. She heard about the owner's strange symptoms and investigated. She spotted a spirit haunting the bar. It hovered over the man, forcing him to make pudding endlessly. Shinobu noticed Yuuki could see ghosts and invited him to her guild. Her guild was spooky. A weapon dropped in front of Yuuki, scaring everyone. Two trembling girls watched from above. They hated strangers and blamed Shinobu for bringing an outsider. They hoped he could help revive the King of Shadows, a legendary vampire they worship. Kokoro was confused, finding the names dangerously ominous. They tried to leave, but bats blocked their path. A voice trapped them, forcing them deeper into the dark house. In the center room stood a giant crystal. Someone inside opened their eyes and greeted them. It was Iliorn, the queen of the night. Kokoro sensed immense magic within the crystal. Iliorn opened a portal and materialized, but instantly shrank into a cute, tiny version of herself. Shinobu explained who she was. The vampire queen, who once warred against everyone, defeated and sealed away, but now partially free. However, lacking mana, she was stuck in mini mode. Hence the tiny stature. Kokoro remained suspicious, thinking she might eat her master, but realized she wouldn't. Iliorn touched Yuuki's chest, sensing energy that could restore her power. Suddenly, her own bats attacked her, surprising everyone with her weakness. Seeing her hurt, Yuuki acted. He grabbed her to escape. Seeing her injury triggered his power. Energy burst from him, hitting Iliorn and restoring her adult form and power. She revealed her true strength, terrifying everyone. They realized they stood before a legend, but she quickly shrank back to kid mode. Kokoro suggested leaving while they were distracted, but Yuuki spilled pudding everywhere while saving the queen. Running away now wasn't smart, especially since a ghost girl was furious and threatening to curse them. Carol waited at home when someone knocked. Shinobu and Miyako stood there. She worried about curses invading her house. She let them in, panicking internally. Kokoro explained, but Carol freaked out about living with a ghost. Meanwhile, Pecorin met familiar faces while shopping. It was weird seeing them all together. Someone mentioned the restaurant owner was possessed by an invisible entity. Yuuki saves the day, so naturally, it is time to party. But his victory lap gets cut short by a frying pan to the spine. Pecorin considers helping, until she realizes his own mom delivered the hit. Back home, things are getting desperate. Carol is fighting a losing battle in the kitchen, trying to make pudding with absolutely zero culinary talent. Kokoro begs the ghost to wait for Pecorin, explaining that everyone else in this house is a total disaster in the kitchen. But Miyako isn't interested in logic. When Pecorin finally returns, it is too late. Her friends are literal puddings now, so she cuts a desperate deal. She will cook a masterpiece, provided Miyako turns the squad back into humans immediately. Pecorin whips up a legendary pudding, and one bite sends the ghost girl straight into a spiritual awakening. Miyako is literally ascending to the afterlife, until Pecorin ruins the vibe by walking in with trays, claiming the secret ingredient was actually fresh human fingers. That horrifying thought drags Miyako back to Earth in a state of pure panic. Shinobu grabs the ghost and drags her away, finally ending the chaos. That wraps up the story, so go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel and let us know your thoughts below. That is all for now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.